All right, I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, James Canty III, a chess streamer, all around multi talented Fide Master. He's got 44,000 plus followers on Twitch, and he's just fantastic, just doing everything in the chess world. First question I have for you, Canty, is what do you see as your place in the chess community?
Thanks for having me, Dylan. Good to be here, man. So for me, chess is life. For me, being in the community and making chess fun. That's just me. I'm that guy to understand creative chess, fun chess. I always say my grandfather is Tao, right? And also my favorite players are like Faruja and Richard Rapport, creativity, fun things about chess. Yes, you can play the boring old man chess, of course, but it's just like everyone has their style, everyone has their flavor, right? So for me, that's what I'm in the chess world for, is to really spice it up, to make it, have fun. You got to have fun in this life and in this game, of course, because it can. There's a lot of times when it's not fun. So making it fun, even learning as well, learning and playing, having fun with it. Really, like Hikaru says, literally, that I don't care, right? And that type of mindset is kind of really good to have in this strenuous, hard game of chess. It's so hard, and like you have the milestones, you have the losses, you have this and that. So I'm here to really make it fun and flavorful. Flavorful. That's what it is.
Awesome. I gotta say, you definitely do that, and have been entertaining me for years on Twitch. Um, I wanna start though by going all the way back to learning chess. First though, you know, you're James Canty III.
Hmm.
Obviously, your family history is important to you. Is chess a big deal in your family?
No, in fact,
Oh,
at
okay.
all. My dad was the only one that played. He
Oh,
just
okay.
played, but he just showed me how to play so we could like bond and like hang out and do stuff, right? And growing up in Detroit too, it's like a lot of things that you can get in trouble with in Detroit, and a lot of
Yeah.
people that you just go astray, and it's a lot of stuff that happens in Detroit. So my dad just played. We played chess, and it was like easy to play. I like to play it. There was also a chess club in school. So at night, I could be at the chess club till at midnight. In middle school, basically, or middle school, but like towards middle school, towards high school, I was able to stay at the chess club, and my parents knew where I was. Right, so it's another
Yeah, yeah.
safety. I like staying out of trouble and playing chess was fun. So my dad taught me how to play, but it's no lineage in chess besides me, my dad, and I'm teaching my sons now.
Okay, okay, that's awesome. Um, can you can you tell me when you first got like really into chess? I mean, you learned. I think you said I read that you learned at age 7ish.
Yeah, 7, 8ish. Yep, 7, 8ish. I learned, and then I didn't. I mean, my dad would beat me every single game, how it usually starts, until I was about 10 years old. But my dad at the time, right now he's about 2K strength, but his rating's like 1800, and online he's like 21, almost 2200 in rapid. So he's nice, but back then he was like 15, 1600, right?
Okay,
And learning I got better too. So when I beat him at 10 years old, I was like, big. He's like 15, 1600 strength, something like
yeah,
that at least. So for me to beat him, it was very good. And then it started to show in like middle school and my national tournaments and all that stuff because I was getting, games with him every day, playing the same stuff.
right.
Then I got books. I started reading the chess books and stuff. And like the rest is history, as you say.
And I saw that you had. I like to shout out some of the early childhood coaches. On your chess.com bio, uh, let's see, you had an early coach at Bates Academy. Can you talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit?
Yeah, Harold Steen, may he rest in peace. That was my first chess coach, basically. About actually, it was kind of funny. He told my dad at one year, like, yo, your son basically not good enough to go to the nationals. We got to take the top five, and he's just not there. But this is like I didn't like that, right? So we just summertime, we got up every day at like 7 in the morning and was just playing chess from like 7 to noon. And then I could do whatever after that. But I mean, getting that practicing, I came back and I was the best on the team. And within a few, the span of a few months there. So it was nice. There's a lot of work involved there. But Harold Steen taught me a lot. Even the French, sometimes, every time I play the French, sometimes I'll think about him because that's what I actually learned. Well, Harold Steen, that is. I learned the French for defense from him.
Yeah,
For a long time, I played it up until about 1800. Then I played E5. And then after 2200, started playing C5 and
right.
stuff like that. So, and just branching out. But definitely Harold Steen taught us a lot. I actually started beating him around middle school. Actually, yeah. Yeah, around middle school. I went into high school like 2000 already, OTB. So it
Right.
was UFCF, and that's like, 12, 13 years old. So it was nice. But it was good. Good, great coach. Learned a lot from him. French defense. I can't remember what he played with White anymore. Oh, Kali. He taught us a little bit of Kali
Okay.
with like B4, F4, and like Sacker Bishop on H7, Rook
Right.
H3. So he taught us that stuff. But it's good, man. I learned a lot from him. That's the very first coach.
So wait, he told you just straight out you weren't good enough. I mean, you must be super competitive just naturally
Yeah,
because
now because of my dad just playing with him and wanting to beat him all the time, it grew in competitive nature because I always wanted to beat him,
yeah.
and because he was serious and he wanted to win every game, and it just kind of ran. I was the same with me, so I got very competitive very fast, and then in the nationals and middle school stuff and just playing, it was competitive as well. It was very quick because it was that same energy I was getting with my dad.
Yeah, and I saw that you went undefeated at nationals.
Yeah, but this was like under 1250 section, which still
Okay.
is fine. But it's like under 1250. But I
Right,
was
right.
about 14 and 1500
Right.
then. I remember beating my dad and also people that was 14, 1500, but my rating didn't catch up yet. So I'm like, well, cool, perfect. They put me in the under 1250 section and just went crazy. So,
Okay, okay. Unintentional. You didn't expect that. So what kind of boost of confidence that give your desire to play and keep getting better?
honestly, for me, it's just fun. It's just very fun to play.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I always say motivation runs out, but discipline does not. And for me, like I study chess every single day. Like I just can't go a day without studying chess. That's just how it goes. But at first, it was like, okay, take a break here, take a break there, try this, try that, do things, just try other things and do stuff and have fun. But I just know that for me, it was just chess is what I wanted to do for a
Right.
long time. I just didn't know how to monetize it. Now that I do, I study chess literally every single day and discipline wise work. It doesn't mean I'm looking on the screen right now is chess that I was studying before the call
Let's
today.
go. If I
Work,
get
right,
boring at all, you can solve a puzzle.
right. That's going to be puzzle playing later.
Right. And you became an NM at the age of 17. I mean, that seems pretty quick, but did you hit any like roadblocks or any big challenges on the way to that?
No, actually, in fact, it was just work, that's how I am now. It's just work, study, play, work, study, play, work, study, play. Well, studying and work is the same, but playing, studying, and really it just kind of happened. Believe it or not, it was actually cool. It was that the Harold Steen Memorial. So my first coach that
Wow.
passed away. It was very sentimental in a way
Wow.
because Master at the very, I think the second one. It might have been the first one or the second one, but it was the Harold Steen Memorial, and I hit 2200. I also beat three very strong players in Michigan at the time, who are
Wow.
still very strong. I mean, two Masters. One is 2500 USCF now. He don't have his FIDE is like low, but he doesn't even play. But he's gonna be IM when he's
Hmm.
ready. Yeah, but he plays still to this day, very strong. Shout out to him. But and UMBC, that's my guy. But he's
What's his name? You can shout out his name.
Aaron Khan. Shout out to
All right.
him, bro. Aaron Khan is nasty. He 2500 USCF.
Yeah,
His feet
that's
2200, but no, he definitely much stronger
right.
and then by a lot. So, but I beat him, and then I beat Dmitry Obakov, who's like he was 21 something at the time. He was a high rated expert. Never hit master. Could have though, but he's who did he do? He's a not book. What's that game? Backgammon. He's the backgammon like
Oh,
specialist now. I think he's like one of the top dudes in Michigan or maybe even in the world now. In fact, with backgammon. So he went that route. But I beat him in that tournament and I beat John Brooks, who was like basically the first black master in
okay.
maybe first, but like at least, there is no other black master in Detroit besides John Brooks.
Okay.
That hit the title 2200 over the board. So that was crazy because I was the second one, right, after John Brooks. So I
Oh,
beat all three of them in that tournament, and I went over to 2200 in that
dang.
in Memorial. So it was really crazy. All that kind of just, Harold Steen passed away. We have a memorial. I hit Master first time in that tournament, so it's nice.
Had Harold taught a lot of those people?
He no, he probably didn't teach them. Maybe he knew. Yeah, he definitely didn't teach Brooks or Dimitri. Maybe not even Aaron either. Yeah, Aaron was in Oak Park. Yeah, he was the other way. So no, he probably didn't teach none of those people. But he was around them for
Yeah.
sure. on the chess circuit, especially Dimitri and John, because John is in his like 70s now.
Well, I guess I'm curious then. Did it give you like extra desire to win the tournament since it was his memorial?
Yeah, no, actually, I remember just like it's a tournament, Hero Steam Memorial, he passed away, but I just got to play. For me, it's just like, play, learn, work. But as you get better, you get more hard on yourself. Like these days, I'm very tough. I'm very critical of my games and this and that because I'm chasing the coveted title every day. Everything that I do, even working out, is for me to hit this title. So
Yeah.
it's the next level there. So it's really just, what Will Smith says, like, don't have a plan B because it distracts you from plan A. So there is no plan B. The only way is this way, right? Burn the ships or burn the boat, like they said, the thing about burning the ships. This is the only way is to take the land. So it's the same way. I got that mindset there. I had a mindset coach that I worked with in the last year. But he
Oh,
was just
interesting.
very strong chess coach, Russian chess coach, and played in the not world, U.S. Championship. Alex Golden, actually, is his name. I worked with him for a long time, but
Okay.
he was about the psych part. He was telling me basically stop worrying about the result, worry about the work that produces the result. And I
Mm-hmm.
never forgot about this, and that has only been my mantra now. Is just work, and the results will come. Because I remember, I was half a point away from a norm in 2021, something like that. I had 6.5. I needed 7, and I went into the last round with black, had a drawn position, I lost the game because of the psychology part. I just had to do something like I'm that close to the norm, and you lose it because you're worried about the result.
Right.
So I never forgot that, and now the results are much better because I actually only worry about the work now.
Can you say that phrase again? Because it's
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, it's fire, bro. Stop worrying about the result. Worry about the work that produces the result.
Man, that's pretty wise. Um, why why do you think you had like I guess the question is what psychological problems did you have that you needed a psych coach for?
It wasn't even actually, no, I didn't even think, I needed a psych coach. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even look at him for that. I was just like, all right, cool. Let me try the GM lesson. Like lessons, and I give lessons too as well. But my lessons I give, I always give notes and homework. This is like a huge thing for me. I always type my notes when I'm working with the coach, when I was
Yeah.
working with coach. Because like, I mean, you're gonna pay this money, whatever it is, and be usually I think they say statistics say that you forget about 90% of something that you just learned in an hour, about an hour afterwards. You're going to forget a lot, maybe not 90, but somewhere between 60 to 90%. You're going to forget so much of it, and you didn't write any of it down. And usually they'll give you a file or a PGN file, but some stuff that they might have said really can help you for later. So this is what I do in my own lessons is I actually type lessons while I'm typing it up the what I'm thinking or what I'm saying, and I give it to them. Like, look, take this for later. So just in case, this is our last lesson or just our 10th lesson, you got notes that you can come back and read.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly how you're supposed to read chess books too. It's more than once, right? So you get more out of it from there. So I remember working with many coaches, and I would just like type up the stuff while they was talking. I actually worked with Arthur Kogan too as well, who was really good. He taught me a lot about just positional play and like books I should read and etc. But it's just the greatest fit was when I was with Alex because he was actually like worried about discipline, work, calculation, right? Which
Right.
is really my strong suit now is calculating, I mean calculation over everything. It's my brand here, COE. So it's a real thing, and we got thousands of orders across the globe now because of this calculation
Yeah.
wave. It's correct. I mean, every time I would ask him a question, he would always be like, "Yo, calculate." And I'm like, "All right, cool. What about this?" "Oh yeah, calculate." What about this? Every time. And I was like, "Wow, there's something to this." We also talk about other stuff like in positions and in games, but he definitely got me on that calculation train to really understand. But you have to calculate. You got to think. You have to use your brain. You got to discipline, work. And some people can't sit in positions for 20 to 30 minutes and only calculate. Literally, I mean, if you haven't
Right.
done it, try it and actually just sit there and calculate lines, and don't worry about the result, right? Worry about the work that's going to produce this result. So what he was saying a lot of times would be like, um, oh yeah, do this puzzle, and if you get it wrong, so what? You got the puzzle wrong. Getting it right is extra credit. But the work you just did of sitting there for 15 minutes, yeah, you got it wrong, but you did calculate some lines for 15 minutes, which is still work that's going to produce a result somewhere else. So it's very good to understand that. But the psych part I really got from him was just, especially in the points where I was there very close to the norm. Or what do I think about this opening or this and that? He's like, yo, work, bro. Just do the work, just do the work. And the psych part was really big when he said stop worrying about the result. Most
Mm-hmm.
people do. They worry about the
Mm-hmm.
rating. They worry about the result. Who am I
Right.
playing? How's it gonna go? You're worried about the wrong thing. You need to worry about the work you need to do today to be to get this result that is on the other side of that work.
Awesome, awesome. You're already touching subjects that I want to get to. I definitely want to get to your branding, but there's one subject that you touched that I think is important to talk about. You said you were the second or close Black Master in Michigan. Do you see yourself as a role model in the Black community?
Absolutely, 100%. I get messages all the time, like good to see somebody of color in the chess world, or like good to see, somebody of color doing what you're doing, besides Maurice Ashley too, doing it as well,
Right.
Grandmaster Maurice Ashley, first one. So, but there's so many others. Shout out to Daim Shabazz too as
Yeah.
well. There's a chessdrum.net, thechessdrum.net, where
Right.
you can see anything about Black chess players, which is
Right.
very nice. Growing up as a kid and seeing that, because I was like, oh wow, there's people of color that actually, like, I didn't know about any of these players. So James Shabazz like took them from all around the world. I mean, you can just
Okay.
see
When
how
did you discover the chess drum? Because that is pretty interesting.
I was like 12, probably. Actually,
Oh.
in fact, I have an article that says, "Will Jimmy Canty be the youngest Black master like ever?" Basically, I was like 12, maybe
Oh
13.
man.
I was almost master.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
it was somewhere around there, but there was an article about it because I was like, rising fast, rising very
Yeah.
fast. Master in 17, I missed it. I think the youngest was like 15 or something like that. And I think now it's been broken by Josh, my guy Josh Colas, who's like to he FM as well, but he's I think he hit it at 12 or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, there's
yeah,
another
it's
kid that did it at 12 as well now too. Yeah.
I think it's Tony now, but
Tawny,
no,
yeah, Tawny. Yeah.
Tony is there now. But yeah, I don't. We all good, young, right? We all got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have people like writing you messages on being about being black in the chess community and like how to handle themselves or get through, cuz it's a pretty mixed world. I mean, it's dominated by, in America it's dominated by Caucasian and Asian Americans.
Yeah.
Um um and do I guess I'm asking, do black chess players feel left out at all in certain parts of the community, or
Yes and no. I mean, definitely. It was. I mean, it was different. Actually, growing up at nationals, I remember being at nationals, and I would be like at board four, and I would be like, "Dang, I'm like the only black person in like three rows. Like that's crazy. 3, 4 rows at the nationals. Now it's a lot different in New York and like all these teams, which is great. We see more black
yeah,
chess players. It was I mean, I think being left out, it wasn't anything being prejudiced or anything like that, or like discrimination, which like some some black like Pontus Carlson, even Maurice has some issues with that of
yeah,
just being a chess player, and people say stupid stuff, but that's just people being stupid. Like it's a
yeah,
problem with them, it's not a problem with you, right? So what it was I never seen, I think for us is more about funding and like having the money to go to certain tournaments and stuff like that, because like sticking together as a community, like the Russians, they all together. The Russian chess school, like they don't have
yeah,
the Black American chess school, like they don't have that type of thing, right? So they have Russia, China sticks together with chess. It's really difficult. I think even in just American chess, period, is like we
yeah,
don't actually come together. Now they do, where they have schools like the U.S. Chess School, or like there's like camps and elite teams. Charlotte got this elite chess camp thing, or like they get the kids together to work with them, stuff like that. So it's we don't have anything like that yet in the black community, but I think it is coming, and I do want to be a part of that.
yeah. Are you putting any money, investing any money of your own? Um, no big deal if you
Into like no,
into
yeah, no,
programs or anything like that.
nothing yet, because
Okay,
there's just nothing out there yet. I'm just really focused on my GM goal first, and
right,
then
right. Okay,
want
let's
to do.
let's get to that for sure. Because your name on Twitch is GM Canty. Um, so obviously you named yourself that way before you became a GM. What was
Yeah.
your thought there?
I'm still Fide Master now, which is
Yeah,
crazy. Like, oh yeah, you GM Canty, and it's a lot of people that have that too as well. Like with Penguin, Grandmaster Gari. Well, Penguin's a GM now, but for a long time he wasn't playing. But you had Penguin GM, which is understandable. People put it in their name to like put it there. They say write the vision and make it plain, or like you have to vision board. Put things in front of you so that you see it every day, and you're
right.
more active. Like I think the statistics show that like you are more likely to hit a goal 10 times more when you vocalize it. Or like if you put it on Facebook, like, hey guys, I'm going to lose 10 pounds this month. And then people are like, go for it. You do it. You're more likely to hit it now because
Yeah.
you put it out there like that. So having that type of thing, and I already made Jim Canty back in like, bro, I think chess wasn't even a full-time thing. And in fact, chess was just a game for me to play and there was no money in it. This was back in
Right.
2014, maybe, or
Right.
20, somewhere around those times where I just made a chess. I didn't even have a chess comic, I don't even think, but I just made it. And I was like, oh, I want to be a GM one day, maybe. Okay, let's put Jim Canty, right? Made it and then went with it for forever, right? It's kind of funny. So yeah, I had that for a long time, but now
It
having it up there, I'm just starting to manifest. But it also, again, it's that that's a result. But how do I get that result? Is the work.
yeah, yeah. Quick question. Is it a pun as well? As in James? Some people have said that, but
Games,
I've
not
doubted it, but
never.
I'm just clearing that up for the audience. Cuz there's
Never.
like a little rumor that like you're using it as a pun as well.
I guess if some people say that, if say
Yeah, yeah.
they say it can sound like that, but yeah, no, I never
Okay.
thought of GM Canton.
It's just manifesting what you want to achieve.
Exactly right. And it's a huge thing. Anything that you put your mind to can happen, but there are things that you have to do to get it.
Right. Right. Do you have any IM norms yet?
No, I was actually close, very close,
Yeah.
twice, two, three times, something like that. Especially that one. This was in 2021, and then 2022. A lot of it was work for me of like just working, traveling, and doing this, and like doing a lot more commentary traveling wise, and working in between because like yes, I'm traveling and doing commentary, but I'm also working all day long. And people see how much
Right.
stress I'm studying. It's ridiculous, right? So I work a lot, and so I don't have any norms yet. I was very close actually. U.S. Masters 2022 December, so not too long ago, was actually one of my biggest tournaments. And they say your best tournament hasn't happened yet. So I'm like, perfect. You're right about that. But I was very consistent and it showed that like I am on the right track. And I played four GMs that tournament, and I
Wow.
always ask, what would be your score, classical chess, if you play four Grandmasters over the board? And some people like, I'll lose every game. Hopefully, I will get one game. But actually, I actually had two out of four, and what I had
Wow.
there was two of them was draws. I didn't lose twice. I played four GMs. I beat one in the first round,
Wow.
drew one in the second round. So I'm 1.5 out of two versus GMs. Then in the third round, played another GM and drew him. And I'm like, yo, what is like, I am going crazy right now. They like Canty is going nuts. And
Yeah.
I was going to that tournament. I had two out of three against GMs. And then, or what, one, yeah, two out of three against GMs. Then I played one GM and I played a weird French line because I wanted to play something different and lost that game. But I think if I would have played my regular, repertoire, which was some Sicilian stuff, I probably either would have drew that game or maybe who knows what would have happened, right? What would have
Right.
happened? I lost that game. I played some IMs. I drew all of them besides one. I lost one game to an FM, I think at the end, who's like super strong now, got a norm. But it was the greatest tournament for me, especially how hot that start was
Right.
to show, oh yeah, it's time, it's time. In this last tournament I just played, actually, not this, I played a Charlotte Norm something, but I beat an IM first round, beat another IM, drew two IMs,
Wow.
lost to right. So letting you know I'm on, it's happening, it's happening. So now I take that and I just okay, reset. What work do I need to do now? Get the
Right.
work, go back out there, and then see what happens with the result.
So you really are competing at a high level.
Oh, 100% competing at a high level. I'm analyzing at a high level,
Yeah.
commentary on point. I'm sticking around these GMs a lot, so I get to see what they do mindset wise. I'm reading, I'm analyzing, and I'm also working on calculation a lot. Tools. Right now, I need to spend more time on positional play and in game. So I got some books I need to run through again. I'll run back through Devereski, at least the parts I haven't hit yet, like Bishop and Knight game mid in games and stuff like that, and also some middle game stuff that I just recently
Right.
saw. Peter Hein Nielsen. It's more about from Magnus's coach, just showing positions of like this is what I would do, and I actually read the first chapter, and I'm like, dang, I already learned something about like, for instance, a knight being on the edge on B3 or G3. One of the greatest things to do, especially in a position that's static, nothing's going on, is to push the pawn, maybe B6 or G6 to restrict the knight that is on G3 or B3, and then the
Right.
next move probably either A5 or H5, so you can really annoy that knight. You're restricting it with one. And I've learned this from just reading the first chapter, which is like this is fire, bro. I can't wait to finish that book to see what else I learned from it. But everything that you read, like you just absorb it and then you use it for later. So it's nice.
So I want to move on to your Twitch career and how you're sustaining yourself as a professional. But I guess a good transition to that is how does the need to make money and grow your business uh, clash with your actual study and growth of your ability?
Well, what's funny is chess is well, it will happen for a lot of people that don't have, I'm just very blessed to say like I have best of both worlds. I can study all day, but also still make money. Number one is YouTube. YouTube is big. YouTube is where the money is. Yes, Twitch is nice too as well. And Twitch, I'm never leaving. That's like that's how I knew I could start making money through chess. Is with streaming. This happened in 2018. And then like, now, I stream every day and like I have the following and it's great. And all of my opportunities usually come through the stream first. So that's why I'm never leaving the stream. But YouTube is I got onto YouTube, just not recently, but like last few years at 17,000 subs. So trying to get up, but I
Wow.
saw Levy Gotham Chess has showed us that you
Right.
can become a millionaire from YouTube with the chess. Any niche doesn't matter, but it's really possible. So I'm like, oh yeah. So now that's even better. Like I mean, imagine the time that frees up for you to be able because you have to study chess. You got to study so much chess, right? I mean, you have to have the time to do it. And if you have a job, which everyone has, you have wherever if your job's not chess you are going to like not have time to study. You're going to have to make time to study in other
Right.
areas. It's just not feasible, right? And this is why when people say like, oh, you can hit GM at like an older age, or like, you can hit GM. Like, yeah, I can understand why you can't because you have to work. You have to like get money. You have to get paid. And this is where chess was annoying for me when I first got out of high school because I'm like, yo, now I have to make money. People not paying. I'm not a kid. They're not paying for my stuff anymore. How do I pay for this? Hotel,
Right.
entry
Right.
right? That stuff is expensive, bro.
Yeah.
So, how do I pay for this, right? So I have to work, but then that's taken away from the time I want to do the study chess. So now I have a best of both worlds. I can study all day, or like I'll have a pocket of the time, like 3, 4 hours. All right, cool. I'll study only these 3, 4 hours. Then I have lesson, YouTube work, commentary. Hit this YouTube video for chess.com. I get paid through that. I get paid through all kind of stuff through chess.com as well. It's a lot of that. So it's for me, I'm just blessed to be able to have the stream, have YouTube, have endorsements, have some sponsorships, have people to work with, have partners that I work with that pay me very well. Also lessons as well. I'm a chess kid coach, so I'm locked in with them. So I do kids lessons
Mm-hmm.
as well. I also do regular lessons, obviously my personal lessons, and my time is very valuable. So I actually went up a lot because I was like, hey, look, I don't have time to study, so I have to raise the prices on this but I still give, to be honest, I mean, some of my lessons are like the best. I just say this because I've taken so many, and I also give notes and homework. Nobody does that. Nobody types up the lessons while they're talking to you and give it to you. Hey, take this for later, right? So that comes included in my lessons and stuff like that. But I'm also like they always say, teaching is learning twice a lot of times, and also commentary is very big for me. If you're teaching somebody beginner, like it's not going to be really learning much, but commentary helps a lot for me too. I'm getting paid. I'm also getting, I say that that's free lessons for me, or I'm getting paid to talk about this game that I'm learning from. Like, how
Right.
crazy is
Right.
that? Like, so that's why I love doing commentary because I get to see, oh man, they might play your favorite opening, and you get to see them like, wow, he just decimated this guy in my favorite opening. How did he do it? Let me take this game, and you remember that. It's very nice. So the commentary is big too as
Okay.
well. I
While
mean,
while we're on that, tell me what you just got locked down for commentary.
oh, I had well nothing locked down now. I just finished commentary. So I
Okay.
had Dubai. I was just in Dubai for the Global Chess League, which is nice. It's a new event. I mean, the
For
team, I
for
think
anybody not like familiar with that, can you explain what the Global Chess League is and why
it was
that's
yeah, it's
valuable
fine.
for you?
It was called the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League. And it was basically a team. It's a rapid event, so faster time control, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. But it's 6-man teams, and I mean, it was stacked. I mean, one team had Magnus Carlsen on it, Arjun Erigaisi, and Gukesh, all on the same team, right? It's fire. Then they have one women's board, very strong women grandmasters, right? Or even I think one that wasn't a GM there's some WGM. There was one WGM or maybe two, but then there was an international master, the women. It's not WIM. She's an IM. Like so,
Yeah.
very strong players on these teams. Very strong player, and they would play rapid. And I mean, then the teams were owned by people that's like billionaires or a lot of people with a lot of money. They got a lot of money, and I think it costs like 300K to buy the team or something like that. So to buy one of those teams, and then I forgot what the prize fund was, like 500,000, 200 go back to somebody, 300 like but there's a lot of money in it, a lot of money
And
in it.
what was your role as a commentator?
I was hosting a little bit. So I was hosting. I was also just doing commentary on the games, which really commentary for me is always the same. You just look at the game and you analyze it and you tell it to the viewers. But I like to do it like, I mean, like we watching sports. I mean, that's how I like to chess. It should be fun like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, it's going to be very boring and you're going to be sitting there talking about moves and people literally will fall asleep. I've done that in a YouTube video, watching a YouTube video and just fall asleep because it's so boring. But but I need this chess knowledge. Like I want this knowledge, but oh my goodness, I can't sit through that. Or like, it's just so boring. So I like to make it very exciting, but I'm also learning too as well to see what they do. And we teach while we're doing it.
Okay, so along with that, we're just going where the wind blows in this interview, but that's a really good subject that I actually had on my question list. What will it take to make chess interesting for the mainstream?
Faster chess. That's it. I mean, you're gonna have classical still. Like I think somebody was talking about this when we were in Dubai, but cricket has like I didn't know this about how. First off, I mean, cricket's massively big,
Right.
and like that side of the world, it's massive. So it's like bigger than basketball and football or like American soccer. Like, but it's huge. It's absolutely huge. But they were saying like cricket has these different formats, where one is like an 8 hour game. I'm like 8 hours. That sounds like I'm like, all day y'all doing that? And like, yeah, they take a break for lunch. I'm like, dang, bro, that's nuts. Like, man, that's more intense than
I actually
chess.
didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
But there's one that's like 8 hours that lasts all day,
Uh huh.
basically. And then one is like, I think a 25-minute game of cricket or something like that. I don't
Wow.
remember, but there's formats, just like in chess. So I think, obviously having stuff like Global Chess League, Bullet Chess Championship, which I got to do commentary on the 19th. So that having stuff like that, Bullet Chess Championship, Speed Chess Championship, like all these big events, especially shout out to chess.com. I mean, they just taking over the game. They're killing it right now
Yeah.
with everything. So having these big events were like, there wasn't this kind of money in chess. So it's inspiring for a lot of players. Also, people that, want to get away from their jobs or they want to continue playing chess at a very high level and do it now with these prizes. It's fun, but it make exciting chess is gonna happen with the faster time controls. Because there ain't nothing exciting about classical boring. Like it's just you sitting there 6, 7, 8 hour games sometimes. The games take a long time. It's a lot of energy taken out of you too as well. And sitting there watching that, like you're gonna have your fans that's gonna watch that all the time, which I am. I'm gonna watch the classical games all the time. I sit there and do my work, check on the move, or they
Yeah.
go back, do some more work. Oh, okay, they gonna move 15. Let me look like I'm checking, right?
Right.
But the fast games is where, oh man, if you 1200, you like, whoa, this is exciting. If you 900, if you just started, it's exciting, especially if you got an exciting commentator too.
Right. And I haven't talked about this with many people since you mentioned it. What is chess.com's role in the chess community at the moment?
They are the biggest. They everything. Chess.com is everything. Chess.com is like the internet, basically. When it comes to like, they run everything. Chess.com is running just about everything. They buy up everything. Like they're doing it very big. They're bringing creators, meaning like people outside of chess into chess or that like to play chess. I mean, we have basket like Luka Doncic got his own bot. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
actors are probably coming into chess as well. Even Rainn Wilson played in one of our events from The Office, which is crazy. From that, having Big Creative Logic, the rapper, was actually in our. He plays chess and he was in our thing. Mr. Beast actually plays chess too as well. So these huge content creators, I mean entities in the way, are Chesscom is bringing that into that. We also have
So
part.
I always thought it was I thought it was the other streamers that were bringing that in, but
It's
it's
Chess.com.
chess.com that's bringing that in.
Chess.com. Yeah, chess.com bringing it. And the streamers, we are just an extension of chess.com in a way.
Right.
Streamers, we having, I mean, they treat us very well. Chess.com, they treat us very, very well on the streamer side. Because they make sure they understand, like, this is why we have to have chess.com in our on our overlay, basically, when you're streaming, so that that's basically our sponsor, that's our partner, that's who we're working with. So if you're new to chess and you're like, oh, chess.com, cool, let me go get an account over there. That's why they
Right.
want that up there. And as a streamer, big or small, wherever you are, it's just starting or in the game for a long time, being a part of chess.com, they know it's going to bring views, it's going to bring this, it's going to keep people on the site. And that's what you want, as a business
Right.
owner. You want keep people on the site, keep on YouTube, keep watching videos, keep playing games, keep using the stuff, keep using the tools, and we keep getting better. Says chess.com.
What was chess.com one of your first monetized gigs in?
Absolutely. 100%. And this is why I'm like, like I'll get a chess.com tag right here, right up there, right there. I was like, but I was making a joke with Eric. He was like, bro, don't do that. I was like, I'm not gonna do that, Eric. But
Eric
Eric's
Rosen?
not Eric, the CEO of
Oh, yeah.
chess.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I told him that, and it was funny. He was very very cool guy.
Wait,
Obviously,
what's his
damaged.
last name? Eric.
It, Al Best.
Okay, Eric
Al,
Albest. Is he a chess player?
yeah, he like 1800,
Okay,
but
okay.
so, but Eric's, he was, yeah, I mean, shout out, like ChessCon was the first monetized thing for me. Like when I first started streaming, I just one day I was like, bro, I was actually doing sales, door to door sales before I started streaming with
Oh,
1 million. The only reason why I did it is because like the guy was made $1 million. I was like, bro, what? And I saw his life. Like, I was like, I don't know how you're doing this. I just want to know. So, and I stayed there for a year, which was really nice. I learned a lot with him, but it was one day I was just like, yo, I'm just ready to
wait, what
like
were you selling?
we did AT&T also, which is really good. Yeah, really, I ain't
Okay.
even gonna lie. Great packages. I was like, oh, this is sweet. And then at one point we switched over to energy or something like that. But it was they said from there, and this is when I started streaming. Streaming really took off fast for me because of the skills I learned from there. What they said was like, hey, in this field, in this door-to-door sales thing, or whatever we're doing, like, we trying to build sales teams and be promoted out with the sales team to sell more stuff, whatever the partner is doing direct selling. But there was like, hey, I remember watching this very vividly, still remember thinking about it to this day. It was like, hey, you're either going to be very successful here and like, get your own, business and sell out and like actually get a partner to work with, have your own office, like basically just like the person that brought you in. Or and he's like, you're going to be very successful here, or if you decide to leave, you're going to be very successful in whatever else you do. And I was like, wow, that's deep. So I ended up leaving. And then 6 months into streaming, I became a partner on Twitch, which is like 1% of the site, which is
Right.
very good.
That's
Crazy.
fast. That's
Yeah,
super
very fast.
fast.
Super fast. And Chesscom actually approached me probably about a month, not even a month into streaming. I was just really grinding it. And Chesscom was like, yo, you want to try some commentary one day? And I was like, yeah, why not? But I was very, social, talking to people, which is things you have to do, those skills from door to door, whether it was snowing or raining or sleeting or, fire outside. You had to be out there still working because it was actually commission based too as well, which was just a crazy idea that it's only commission based, it's sales. You made $1 million. Like, what is this? But we learned a lot of skills about how to talk to people, how to like socially, start a conversation with someone out of nowhere, basically, and keep them entertained and talk to them and then sell them on whatever you're selling, which is very fire. So I learned those skills and then we started streaming and stream just literally took off. But it was like I was already kind of social, but it really brought it out of
Uh
me
huh.
when I job there and now streaming even amplified it even more. I mean, I got over 500-600 videos I've ever recorded and like chess. So like that's crazy. 500-600-700 videos at this point. It's easy. It's clockwork. But Chess.com approached me about that commentary gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll give it a shot. And one thing I learned from them was they said take control, which is like basically say yes and take control is one of the things of the A grade work habits that I learned from that previous job. One of them is take control and like understand your opportunity was another one. So I'm like, all right, this opportunity, let's say yes. I can say no later. So I hopped in there. I like that one. They liked me. They put me on another com gig. Then they put me here and they put me there. And then like, now all my bills are paid through chess com, chess dad, chess kid, YouTube, Twitch,
Yeah.
right? It's nice.
Yeah. How does that feel?
Great, man. Never thought it would be like this, in fact, in chess. But I did say I was like, yo, I want to make money in chess. I don't know how, but I want to do it. And like, it's discouraging because you're like, man, I want to play this favorite game, but you got life. You gotta do stuff. You gotta make money, right?
Right.
But now
Right.
I was like, the only way I can make this work is if chess is the money and found a way to do it. And now, we just get better at it every day.
And 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 you're selling yourself as a
Absolutely.
product.
Yeah.
So how do you transition from selling a physical or a service to selling yourself as a product?
What you have to do is it's like sales. Great sales is like conversations. I'm just talking to you and have vibing, and really it's also showing being genuine, like being genuine, being yourself with people,
Right.
not actually being fake or trying to act like you're somebody else, bro. Be you, and they're gonna like you forever. You I always tell this thing about the 80-20 rule, which everybody know about 80-20, but in life, like there's gonna be 20% of people that never like you, no matter what you say, what you do. You can give them $1 million, and they gonna be like, yeah, thanks, get out of my way type thing. Like F you still. Like that's how they are. It's
Right.
20% are not gonna like anything that you do ever. So that's cool. You just need the perspective changes there when like you stop trying to please everyone. There's going to be 80% of people that will always like everything that you do, and 20% is not. So a lot of times, especially if people come with negative energy in the chat or just period, I'm like, we laugh, we clap it up. Hey, there go to 20. The perspective changes as opposed to be like, who are you, blah, 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 trying to get back at them. That's a 20 percenter. Hey, 20%, good to see you. How you doing, baby? I love you, right? And then I'll ban them anyway. But then they didn't expect that. They like it's a change in perspective to
Uh,
understand. You don't get mad at that type of stuff, bro. You just keep being you. So when you're selling yourself in the way, you just be you. You be genuine, and people gonna vibe with you or they're not. And if they don't vibe, cool. Hey, we wrong vibe. Go somewhere else. There's other vibes you can check. Other streamers, whatever, but you sell yourself in the most genuine way by being you. And like, I mean, if people always put it this way, like you're at the bar and you're just talking to people, you're hanging out. What's up? What's good? Oh, how are you? I'm a
right.
party guy. Like, I'm social. I like talking to people. So really make it about themselves too as well. Yes, you are selling yourself, but you have to make it about them. It's a conversation. Hey, what's up? How you doing? How's life? If they ask you a question, answer the question, right? Stuff like that. Being very genuine to that person. I say what they say, treat people how you want to be treated, and really that helps a lot with sales.
Right. Right. And so you've been doing this for now for about 7, 8 years, 8 years. So
Well, actually, 2018 was when I
oh,
started streaming.
2018. So
Yeah,
5. Wow. So only 5. What percentage of your income is passive at the moment, and what do you have to do actively daily?
that's a good question. Probably like 25% is passive because it's YouTube and like some salary stuff, but
Right.
that's about it there. But YouTube, but really, I mean, just like work. I want my YouTube. This is why YouTube is the key. Passive income is like what everybody wants. Like we
Yeah.
just don't want to working forever. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's still, even then, like passive work, it makes you more comfortable. And you feel better when you have something more passive. When you just wake up and you're like, oh, I made 5,000 in my sleep. That's the type of money that you're trying to make, right? Everybody
Right.
wants that.
Right.
But the only way that happens is something has to be working when you're sleeping. What is that is like biggest thing, especially right now, is YouTube. So I'm really working on that. Worked with shout out to Eli, my guy Eli out in Texas. I was just out there working one of my biggest videos right now. I mean, the camera quality different. Like it's just a shift. It's a whole shift because that's all he does is YouTube. He's a YouTube guy. He just likes chess. So he invited me
Right.
out, showed me the ropes, get this, lighting this, blah, blah, blah. He like a super GM in YouTube, basically. I was like, whoa, I learned so much down there. It was like a workshop. And I was hanging out with him for 3 days, took all these notes, told him what I got, this and that. So when I go back tomorrow, I'm in Charlotte now. So when I go back tomorrow, I'm gonna go get all this stuff and like level up my quality and level up everything. And like because I know this is the next wave. I want to have that passive money with YouTube, like how Levy and how Hikaru has. I mean, even
Right.
Hikaru still and one of the biggest influences on my discipline and work was Hikaru in the last the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He was like, "Number one, hey, you're not a real streamer if you don't show up every day." I was like, wow, okay, all right, big dog. You the man. I'm gonna show up every day. Start showing up every day. I start getting more opportunities. And my
Hmm.
stream growing much faster than it ever has. Wow, I'm showing every day. Also, anything you do every day becomes a discipline. So for me, it's a discipline now. It's not even like oh, I don't feel like streaming. Like I have to stream. It's just because that is my thing. I'm disciplined to do it every single day. Or if I'm not, then like I would be, when I'm traveling, I have like we actually had somebody streaming for us basically
Right.
there. So
Right.
does it, which is nice. So
How many hours a day do you normally stream?
usually I'll stream 4 to 6, but
Wow.
that's usually a nighttime guy. So, I used to get up early and go to the gym, but I'm like, nah, if I'm doing these nighttime hours, like I can't. I remember one point I used to be called like the late night king, which is like, people was late night because I was on every night from
Right.
9 p.m. It's still my sweet spot. I still love that time frame, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Every and sometimes we go to 2 or like somebody come in with a raid, we got to stay maybe another hour or like, chat going crazy with energy. We might have to stay for a little longer, and then trying to get up to go to the gym at 6 in the morning is tough, bro. We might have to do that night too. Oh man, bro, it's
Okay.
gonna be hard. So I start going to the gym now in late evenings or like in the evenings, which feels better for me, and I can and then I feel ready, energized to stream usually, at night, 9 p.m. It's my favorite times of the day. It's when I'm at home streaming. Like I'm like, oh, I'm streaming, let's go. We got the vibes going. We got the people in the chat, the everybody. It's such a party every time.
Okay, we gotta take a quick detour to the gym, because I got a headshot of you right now, so people can't see exactly how ripped you are. Like
Yeah,
you are straight up ripped, and you put in work.
yeah,
So
man.
tell me how that fits into your lifestyle.
It's a real thing. Like right when I travel, it's tougher because and I can't wait to get back. Like when I get back, I'm gonna be hitting it hard. I'm also about to pick up boxing, just because I want to have just more cardio. I hate doing cardio, but boxing is gonna be fun cardio. Like that'd be fun, and I get to
Yeah,
learn some stuff too as well. So want to do that, but working out is like it's very important because we sit so much. Kramnik says chess is an unhealthy sport. He's right, bro. You're sitting all day. You're studying sitting down. You're doing even Bobby, I think at one point endorsed, which I think that might have flopped, but he endorsed like a standing desk that Bobby was using at some point. And I was like, oh nice. Now I have a standing desk too. Just bought one recently because I was like, yeah, I'm like, I work out because of my chest. I want to and it actually helps. You get the endorphins, you get the focus, the endurance to play longer. To everything is just better when you are working out. Everything, not just chest, but everything there. Eating clean too as well, stuff like that. So that helps. But it's chest being sitting down all day is not good. They say our body's not designed, in fact, to be sitting all day long. So, and that's what chess does, especially for guys that, sometimes I can study 10 hours in a day. I have. Well, I mean, really, it kind of is. It's chess is around the clock. So when I wake up in the morning to like when I go to bed all day is chess stuff. So it
right.
basically is chess all day. But I do need to take care of your body because if you don't take care of your body, then you can't even play. Like you can't even study. You can't do nothing. So it's very important to work out for me. A lot of times actually I saw Anon at the gym when I was in Dubai. For like a split second, I coached Anon in something, which was nuts. And
Let's go.
yeah, I was in the gym. I told the stream like, "Yo, Anon's over there," and he started talking about pull. He was going to pull up assists because I was doing pull ups that day. I love
Right.
doing pull ups, exercise and body weight pull ups. But he couldn't do the body weight ones, but he did the assisted ones. And then he stopped, and it shows you how motivated and disciplined he is. He stopped, and he was like, no, because we was kind of like briefly talking. We was like, hey, what's up, man? What's good? Oh yeah, cool, cool, cool. We talking a little bit. And he says, no, I don't really like doing the pull-ups. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, you ain't got to do these, man. I think he did some chest flies, but then he got off and he walked away for like half a second. He was like, nah, I got to come back. And he was like, I got to do at least two or three. Basically, like, I'm not giving up
Right.
because I don't. So he went and he did like two or three assisted pull-ups. And I'm like, there you go. There you go. And all right, all the way, I was like full range of motion, bro, all the way down, all the way up. Right. So he had to, make sure you do full ROM there. And he got it. And then he smiled and walked away, and he was done for the day with the gym. But a non works out. Now he's still playing great chess in his 50s right now, in the top, I think 10, 15 in the world still, because he works out. I took a picture on Instagram. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning in Dubai. I'm leaving the gym and he's walking. It's like it was just like a little thing that it was a path or like a little sidewalk on the side of like our entrance right past the gym. This place was huge, the Meridian Hotel. It was like huge. It had 6 restaurants in there. I was like, this is nuts. But it was a maze. So I'm walking back and I see a non walking. And I'm like, man, this is why you staying in good. This is why you playing great chess still. You're staying in shape. So I snapped a picture with him real quick, put it on Instagram, like, yo, a non still, this is why he's playing great chess still, because he's still working out. And that's gonna be me too as well. Like I'm gonna just keep working out because I have to, I want to, I love what it make how I feel afterwards, and it's gonna help my chest long term.
Yeah, but how did you get so ripped?
yeah, yeah, that's funny, bro. Some people actually too, they'd be like, yo, bro, you use a steroid? I'm like, no, look, here's the thing about steroids and like all that stuff. Somebody asked me, are you natural? I love when they ask that because I'm like, man, it's working. Ooh, it's nice when they ask you, are you
That's kind
natural?
of
Which
rude, but
not exactly, but at the same time, I take it as a compliment or
yeah,
perspective. I take it
yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah.
compliment. Because like I mean, I watched YouTube video recently. I mean, they said I think it was 36 bodybuilders died in 2022 due to PEDs or due to like
Dang.
doping and using stuff very healthy. And I'm like below 30 or like below 40 years old, some a little older, but I'm like, nah, bro. Like that's in a way, it's like getting a chip in your brain to tell you all the moves, and then you die a year later because you cheated the system. You know what I mean? You're
No.
cheating the system. You need to do it the right way, which is study, work, discipline. Same thing at the gym. Work, like hit the weights, hit the reps. I got good apps. I worked with trainers before. I know what to use. I know how to muscle confusion. I got the bodybuilding ABCs, a big gray book. It's like an encyclopedia for bodybuilding. That's my
Okay.
other for chess is like, besides chess, it was like, if you weren't doing chess, what would you do? And I'm like bodybuilding, LA Fitness really helped me out with that. With like when I used to work there, just like fitness, being in shape and understanding the body, understanding what goes in the macros, the micros, the macronutrients, micronutrients, what I take, BCAAs, creatine, how it works, how it affects the body, eating and all that stuff. So really, for me, how I got bit was just lifting heavy and eating correctly and recovery, and that's it, and just repeating the process. Going up, tracking results. Oh, I did 315 this week, or I did 270. Let's try 275 on the bench. I'm at 280. Let's try 285, maybe 290 with a spot. See how many I can get. Right, when I get back, nice muscle recovery. Make sure I'm stretching. Make sure I got the right protein, whey protein, isolate, all the stuff. Just being very knowledgeable, getting it, and doing the work, and no shortcuts. Because like that stuff. I mean, you see bodybuilders today that like used to be huge, and they not huge no more, and that's because they wasn't actually. Yeah, he was hitting the weight, but you have to consistently hit the weight and the discipline of like not using the steroids or the drugs that can affect your body long term. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I do eat
Right.
right and
I want to get back to streaming, but I got one more question. You are competitive, so are there people that push you forward in the gym? Do you have like friends and stuff like that you work out with,
sometimes
or is it
yeah,
mostly self motivated?
it really is self motivated. You know, it's funny. I always tell people that I used to say this on stream. Sometimes I'm streaming my workouts, and I'll say, I even say it like I remember reading, not reading, but listening to this. I don't know how long ago this was. It wasn't very long, no. It might have been maybe a year, within a year. But they said motivation runs out, but discipline does not. And I was like, "Oh, that's deep." I'll never forget that. Motivation runs out. Sometimes I am not motivated to go to the gym. I
Right.
just don't want to go. I'm like, bro, I'm tired. I don't want to go, but I'm gonna go anyway. And then when you leave the gym, you're like, man, I felt great. I feel great. But you just got to get there. And it's the discipline. And how do you create a discipline? Is by just doing it. Like Nike got the best. Just do it, bro. You
Right.
literally just do it. Like, how do I start streaming? Just do it. How do I just do it, bro? That's literally it, the discipline part. So, I'm not motivated all the time, but the discipline keeps me in there. And I'll go in there. And when I leave, it's always the same. I feel great after I leave.
That's awesome. Okay, back to streaming. I want to talk about branding a little bit because you mentioned it. Your brand is pretty unique and very identifiable. Can you talk about how you invented chess over everything and all that?
Exactly. He could be whatever, right? He said chess over everything. It's actually calculation over
Oh,
everything.
calculate. I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry.
But no, but what's
In my
funny
mind,
is
it's chess, but
I always say the C is whatever you want it to be. This is why we like this logo
uh,
so
uh,
much. But calculation.
calculation.
Sometimes we say cake over eggs and just be cracking up. It don't make any sense. It makes no sense. It's like the dumbest thing ever. But at the same time, it can be whatever you want. Christ over everything, cookies over everything,
Right.
candy cat. It
That's
don't
pretty
matter.
funny.
Whatever you want your C to be, OE. You know what I mean?
is
So
is that part of the design with the infinity symbol?
yep, correct.
And
That's why it's
then,
like.
did you intend the natural E?
Yeah, in fact, my designer made it that way. He just like designer etiquette. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. I don't even know
Yeah,
why
yeah,
that is sweet, but whatever.
yeah.
Like he did it. I was like, perfect, bro. Yeah, this is why you're the designer. So yeah, that's nice. But it came through. Shout out to Alex Golden again. Like every time I remember, really, I credit a lot, to it, like to him. After we was working together for like a month and then I beat my first GM OTB about a month later after I started working with him. But again, it was always about, every time I would ask him something, he like, yeah, that sounds great. Cool. Calculate it. All right, cool. I'll sit here and calculate. Then we'll get somewhere else. So what about if you reach a position like blah, 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 blah? And I'll have a very sophisticated question. Same answer. That's great. Oh, all right. Yeah. Probably calculate it. And I'm like, all right, calculate it. So then I'm like, yo, every time I'm asking you something, it's repetition. And he's telling me to do the same thing. Calculate. You have to calculate. You have to calculate. And so many times we don't do that. In fact, in chess, that is the biggest skill to work on. In fact, for a long time,
Right.
Fabiano was my screensaver. And the reason why is because they was like, yo, Fabio screensaver. And it was really a quote on the side, like a quote, but Fabi's face was right there. So it was kind of funny. It was like, why is Fabio screensaver? I'm like, well, it's really the quote by Fabi, but the quote says that he was like, there's these stereotypes that say basically chess players have different styles, and where that does actually come out sometimes. But he say most chess players, top players, are universal. I was like, oh, that's nice. But he says what differentiates them the most is their calculation. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, damn, that's my brand, COE. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Like, and Bobby being known as a human calculator for lines he can calculate, right? It's very important. And yes, okay, you can start, you can have your favorite opening, and then as soon as you get out a book, what do? You have to calculate, right? Or if they play A3 on move one and you like, what is this? Never seen this in my life, and you reach a middle game, you're going to have to calculate on your own. So you have to work on the skill, which is probably one of the most important skills in chess, is calculating. So calculation is really over everything, right? Not only just chess, but in life. You got to calculate these next moves, calculate today, calculate what I'm about to eat for dinner today, right? So calculation over everything. But it really helped with working with Alex to really kind of point that out.
Wow. That's awesome. Um, so then, I mean, you got basically like a team of people you work with a little bit here. I mean, it sounds like you're doing most of it yourself, but do you have an editor as well?
In fact, I don't, and
Oh.
reason being is I just wanted to learn. I'm probably gonna get one later, but I like my stuff to be fast. I wanted to get it done. I didn't want to wait. Like I like doing it now. You know what I mean? I'm that
Hmm.
kind of guy.
Hmm.
So, for the editing thing, I learned how to edit my YouTube videos. I
Wow.
learned how to edit. But I would sit there. I mean, work is in you just working. I would sit there and watch a video for 2, 3 hours, a few videos just to figure out how to work this. I mean, you can find anything today. In fact, I think I was just to some millionaire a long time ago when I was doing a lot of e-commerce, which I was
Hmm.
very successful with actually now too. But he said, he was like, "Yo, I'm a millionaire because I'm a master at Google," and I was like, "Wow!" It was funny that he said that, but he's also correct. There's so much information you can find from Google and YouTube that like you just. I mean, even Joel Embiid, basketball player, he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." I started watching YouTube videos on how to shoot and then tried out or something and made now he in the NBA from YouTube basically, right?
That's
So
crazy.
it's really crazy what you
Yeah.
can find. So for me, editing videos, I'm like, I don't want to pay an editor right now. I also don't want to wait to like for videos or like they have a life too. So like if I want this video out and they got to do this or like that, and I got to wait to get the content out, and like no, okay, and then no, I want to have it now. So at least I want to be able to do. Only thing I can do is like design. So if I have to wait for those, I have to wait. But because I'm
Yeah.
not a designer, I'm a graphic designer, but I can do stuff like hard edits on videos well, like, I just learned, shout out to Eli again. And I got it when I get home, I got to get DaVinci, which is just, they use that tool for movie editing. And I was like, wow, that's sweet. And then I saw some stuff he did. I'm gonna watch a tutorial at home on how to do basic edits and then start doing and moving all my stuff to that. From there, learning how to do it yourself is very important so that you can also, teach other people when you do hire someone, like, hey, you teach them how you want your edits to be and stuff like that, or like stuff that you may like, or you can also learn from them too as well. So anything that I'm hire somebody for, I want to at least know how to do a little bit of it. Even like graphic design, like thumbnails. At first, bro, I was like, I'm okay now, but I'm nowhere near the guys that I'll pay to do. Shout out to Chaz, right? Chaz, my guy right now doing all the thumbnails, and then the mod team on Twitch, which is nice. So we talk. Actually, shout out to MD Knight. We talk all the time about basically growing the stream, bringing people on to actually stream team in a way like
Yeah.
when I was playing. Hikaru mastered it in a way. When he's out, his stream still runs, even though his YouTube's doing great too as well. But when he's playing tournaments, they streaming it, and I was like,
Right.
guys, that's brilliant. You're getting
Right.
paid still and not even there, right, on your stream because you don't really get paid from straight on Twitch if you're not live. So I'm traveling, I'm playing tournaments, and my stream's still running. That's crazy. Like it's amazing what can happen and the power of it. With that being said, so that's good, man. So life is good, bro. You know what I mean? Life is real good right now, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could talk for hours. This is pretty amazing. I appreciate you sharing with me all of this stuff,
Mhm.
giving the inside scoop because it's interesting because you seem like an all around multi talented entrepreneur. Like you've got skills that the average person could develop, but you've put
Yeah.
in the hard work and the time to really get there and become very successful. So then I guess the most obvious question is what's the next step?
Next step for me is GM. I just have to hit it. It's not a we'll try to. I'm going to hit it and I'm going to do it. And I'm not doing nothing else. I don't have time. In fact, I always say, sorry. I always do this even on like on stream when I say I don't have time. No, I do have time. I don't make time for anything else but hitting GM. I
Mm-hmm.
don't make time because you can make time for whatever you want. But I want to hit GM. I'm going to hit GM. So I have to make the time to study. This is all that I do. But of course, I'm making it more disciplined too as well because it's work. So I'm just studying, working until I get the job done. Then when I get the job done, then I'll look, okay, let's maybe do a little this, let's do a little that, let's open up this, let's give back more. But right now I got grind time. I only am doing this, only am studying. Only reason why I'll do anything else is because yes, it's still chess. And I'm getting like this is why I love, my what I'll do now commentary. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to do it because I'd rather be studying chess, but I'm about to actually study while I'm watching these guys. Oh, that's fire. Oh, wow. Did you see these moves? Man, that's inspiring. Let me check that line and it may help me later. That's
Right.
very good. And I'm getting paid, right? So it's also very big for that. But my next move is hitting GM, plan and hitting GM. That's it. Plan, studying, hitting the title.
So I gotta ask though, you play a lot of bullet on your stream. Are you gonna
Absolutely.
reduce the amount of bullet?
No, we never do. And I train so much during the day where people are like you always playing bullet on stream. And that's because y'all don't see what I do off screen ever. So, and I'm like, I don't, they're like, you don't play Blitz no more. And I'm like, bro, you know how many games I didn't play Blitz or Classic or this? I don't want to play that because I've been studying and playing slower chess all day. So, and then when I get at night, I'm like, I want to have fun. What's real fun? Bullet in 30 seconds. Sometimes even too, you can have a very, very, very high level bullet game. We're following 20, 30 moves of theory. What's funny is sometimes I'll actually like playing stronger players on stream too as well and I'm playing a bullet and I'll be like, yo, this line was crazy. And I'll go check it and I'm like, wow, this is, I mean, like, you're not supposed to be analyzing bullet games, but certain ones you actually can. I was like, oh my goodness, never saw this idea. This worked before. Oh, I had this in this position. And you can use it in a classical game. I've done that. In fact, many times, some that I played in a bullet game ended up being in a classical game because of like, oh, that was sweet. That was high level. Or like the engine didn't like this. Let me change this move order here, play it this way. Boom, I can play it in a classical game now, which is fire. So, but it's I always say for the bullet part, it's more like I always use the analogy, and they're like, "Yo, man, Kenty, can we play Blitz?" I'm like, "Bro, you probably what's you like it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? That's how it is supposed to be. You're supposed to eat ice cream, then some pancakes, then or ice cream, then a steak, then pancakes. Like
Right.
it's weird, very weird. I mean, you can do that obviously, but bullet is last after you've done the work all day. That's why I play a lot of bullet at night because during the day I'm doing all the other work.
That's excellent. All right, I want to wrap up. One more question though. I gotta ask about your tattoos.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
got a ton of tattoos. You got a ton of chest tattoos too.
I got a COE calculation of everything. I
Yeah, I
got the
see that.
chess. I also have a chess king somewhere over here. I think it's this one.
Wait,
Yeah,
is that
this
a
is my
king on your neck? On your neck too? Oh wow, look at that one on your arm. Oh wow,
this one
dang,
was my
that's gorgeous.
with the board behind it. Yeah, he made that. This was like 2013, something like that. So
So,
10 years.
so I mean, obviously you're just a huge chess fan, and you just love chess as a game and life, and a part of life. But why put them on your body?
Yeah, that's I guess is more of just for me it was more military, I think too. I was military for a few years, so
Okay,
it's the thing we did, and like I was like, well, you need one here, you get it's addicting too. You get one, you're like, oh, I need one over here now. And you're like, well, now I need one over here. Like, and that's just how it was. So it's a cool thing. I think it tells a lot about my style too, and just being fun and social and like out there, outcast in the way. That's how my chess is the same way. They say the way you play chess is a reflection of you. This is why I like King's Indian. I like strange stuff. I like aggressive chess. I always say my grandfather is Tao and my uncle is Nesmedinov, Rashid Nesmedinov, who people like, you don't even know who that is. That's Tao's trainer. In fact, Tao was like, I'm inspired by Nesmedinov, which is his trainer. So,
right.
very interesting to have that. So, yeah, the tattoos are like a reflection of everything in me.
That's excellent. Well, we could talk a lot more, but I don't want to take your time all day. So I appreciate you coming on and giving us the inside scoop into the Canty. It
Yeah.
seems like a wild life. Do you want to leave the viewers with anything? Any last
Oh,
words?
absolutely. You know what? Merch, shopcantymerch.com. Always go there. Thousands of orders.
There you go.
Excuse me. Go. Shout out to I saw some people wearing some COE merch at the recent tournament. I'm like, bro, my man's got on merch at the tournament. He already gonna win, right? So that was hype to see that. Shout out to y'all rocking it around the globe. Shopcantymerch.com, twitch.tv/GMCanty. YouTube is James Canty James Canty the third. So y'all can find me there. That's really it, man. Stay up, bro. Remember, worry about the work, not the results. Stay positive.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. All right, I'm going off.